Happy Monday. Today is October 21st, and this is Mark on the Market, where every single Monday I'm going through what's going on the west end of Panama City Beach. Today I'm going to get started with the most recent market stats, then I'm going to go into the interest rates a little bit, and then finally hop into what's going on in that 32413 zip code. I'm going to end it today with my pick of the week, so stick around for that. But if we start with the market stats, this is from the end of September. We see that the number of listings on the market has seemed to kind of flatline over the past few months. If we look at inventory or absorption rates, another name for that, we see that it's been increasing over the past year. Back in August, we saw it kind of flatline, and then we're starting to decrease a little bit. If we zoom in on the 32413 zip code, this has already decreased for the past few months. It's been trending downwards, which is great for sellers. Anything over 6 months would be considered a buyer's market. So we've been well within a buyer's market for the past year. And we can kind of see the results of that in this sold to list ratio. For this past month, we were sitting at 92% for the sold to list ratio. So that says that there's room for buyers to negotiate. And then at the same time, it might also mean that sellers are pricing their property too high given the current market conditions. Looking at days on market, now that summer has passed, we start to see that the days on market are starting to rise, and I expect that to continue through the winter months. Summary statistics, we've got average sale price. It's down 9% year to date compared to last year, which is no good. And if we zoom in on September alone, so September of 2024, average sale price was down 12% compared to September of 2023. Median sale price is down a lot less, so it's only down 3% year to date compared to last year. If we look at the sold listings, so this is the number of transactions that have closed, we see a huge decrease this year compared to last year. It's down 18%. So that signifies that there's a lot less buyers in the market. If we look at September alone, we see that it's down 19%. The feel that I'm getting from a lot of buyers that I'm working with is that they're hesitant. They want to see what's going on with the interest rates for the rest of the year, and they also want to see the results of the election. If we look at the number of new listings hitting the market, so year to date, we're up 6%, but this past month we see a huge decline of 20% compared to last year. So that again, I think, is sellers waiting to see the outcome of the election. I know a few expired listings that I called this past week, they were wanting to wait until the new year basically to relist. Looking over at the interest rates though, if we look at the 30-year, the most recent high that we saw was back in May of this year, 7.22%, and then it's been trending downward since then. We hit a low of 6.08% back in September, just a month ago. Since then, we've been starting to rise a little bit, and now we're sitting at 6.44%. So it may seem a little higher than a few weeks ago, but compared to October of last year, we are sitting very well right now. So last year we were at 7.79% for the interest rate, and now we are at 6.44%. So over a whole percent lower, which is great for buyers. Jumping over into what's actually happening in Panama City Beach on the west end over this past week, we see that there's 24 new listings to hit the market. 46 listings changed their price. We've got 14 that closed and 14 that went under contract or pending. A few that expired, a few that canceled, and a few that extended. But looking at the new listings to hit the market on the low end, we've got one over in Endless Summer. This is a ground floor unit. Looks like it's been completely updated inside. Has a shiplap wall, has granite countertops, new cabinets, tile throughout. So great unit if you're looking for just something to get into that's close to the beach on the ground floor, so you don't have to worry about stairs or elevators. Next, we've got one over on Heather Drive. This would be a primary residence at the $310 price point. Got a few more condos on the low end. We got a townhouse over in Whisper Dunes. To me, this one might be priced a little too high, but it's been completely updated on the inside, which is great. LVP looks like throughout, quartz countertops, new cabinets, but at the same time, there's one listed for $250 that has not been updated. So you could come in and buy that one and just update it how you want it to be. Biggest problem with this one I see is the HOA dues are so high. They're at $500 a month. Keep on going. We've got a few more condos. Origin. We've got one over at Emerald Beach. We've got one Calypso Tower 3 if you're looking for something that's a newer build. This is a great location right next to Pier Park. It's on the north side of Front Beach Road. I sold a unit in here a few years ago and it seemed like the rentals didn't do as well as they were predicting, so that might be something to factor in if you were going the rental route. We've got a cottage over in Margaritaville, and then keep on going up to the high end. We've got a 05 unit at Celadon. We've got, this is over at Calypso Tower 1. This went penned in 205. We've got a couple more detached single family houses. This is over in Summer Breeze. This is a great neighborhood. This one has a screened in pool and it's so close to the beach too. Got a detached single family home over in Margaritaville. This one's nice, but it doesn't have a pool, which I wish it did. It does have a nice view of the water though, and it's screened in, which is great. I also like this one. This is right next to Pier Park. Might be priced a little high. I don't know what the rental numbers are on this one, but a great house, walking distance to Pier Park, and got a little bit of an ocean view. We look at what actually closed this week. So on the low end, we've got Sandcastles West over here, 145, dang. And then we've got a studio over at Origin. This one I think started off at like 250 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 259 and ended up closing at 191. We've got a townhouse over in Portside. This one started off at 275, closed at 250. This one is over at Endless Summer. This is a top floor unit. 307 for the closed price. These are nice because they have a loft area, so it feels like a pretty spacious place. Got a detached single family house that closed at 375. This was listed at 400 originally. This is in that same neighborhood that Heather Drive is in. They ended up closing at 440. This is a nice house. I showed a house right across the street from this a few months ago. And keep on going. We've got one over in Ward Creek. This is my neighborhood. 5-bedroom closed at 503. And then we'll keep on going up. On the very high end, we've got the two highest ones. This is Calypso. This is a nice unit. This was actually listed by our office. And then we've got one over at Carillon Beach. So this is a cool area. They've got a little downtown area with a few shops, a coffee shop, a pizza place, and then walking distance to the beach. And Carillon Beach is absolutely beautiful if you've never been in there. Looking at what has gone pending over the past week, on the very low end, we've got Fontainebleau at $99,000. Holy moly. Completely gutted inside, so I guess that's why, but that is crazy. We've got a townhouse over at Ward Creek. These things seem to be moving very well. They offer 4% interest rate right now on select homes, and then they also offer $10,000 in closing cost credit. So if you use their lender, the payment is significantly less. I did a comparable analysis between this and a townhouse over in Whisper Dunes, roughly the same price point, and the mortgage payment on this one would be almost $700 less than Whisper Dunes when you factor in the HOA and all that. We've got one over at Portside that went pending, 320, which is pretty high for that neighborhood. This is, I think, Peachtree Place too. Yeah, this one's pretty nice. It's kind of tucked away, still walking distance to the beach, a little secluded. I like it. And then got a few over at Calypso, 303, 205 that went pending. And then this one on the high end is over in River Camp. So very beautiful homes back in there. If we look over at what is under contract and taking up backup offers, there's only 4. We've got a townhouse over in Palmetto Trace. We've got one over here in Tidewater. This is unit 310. And then on the very high end, 212 San Pablo Street. So this is a nice home. It looks very nice inside. I like it. So my pick of the week has got to be Celadon 2305. What I love about these 05 units is that the master is actually on the Gulf, whereas the other 1-bedroom floor plans in this building, the master bedroom or the only bedroom is in the back of the condo near the entrance. So this one also has a bunk in the hallway. Lower '05 units will have like a separate bunk room instead of these bunks in the hallway. But typically what I love about these '05 units is because the Master is on the Gulf, you usually get higher rental numbers because of that. So that's my pick of the week. If you're thinking about buying or selling in Panama City Beach, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to help, and I will see you next week.